guys, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I had some frozen turkey broth here. Last time I made a couple of turkeys last Thanksgiving. I'll save the broth and put it in bags in the freezer. So what I'm gonna do is I'll get another one here. Turkey broth. And you can see it's very rich. So that's gonna start my stock. I'm gonna put them in here while I run out and get my the ingredients I need for my Portuguese soup. Is like a kale, cabbage, green type of soup with cherries and different stuff. You know, I'm gonna get it all. We'll lay it all out, and I'll show you what I'm gonna put in there, and then we'll cut it up and, you know, show you how I do it. I have some more of these. I think I've done like 4 videos on this soup, but I'm due for another batch, so I'm gonna just throw this in the pan for now and cover it, and by the time I get back, hopefully the stuff kind of thaws out a little bit and come out of the bag. That's a lot of good broth there. It's gonna be good, man. So we save that stuff. Nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna make my own stock. I'll make a big panela. I'll give some to my kid, and I'll freeze the rest. Alright guys, rainy Sunday, good day to make a nice soup. I'm going to make a nice Portuguese kale soup today. I'm running out to get the stuff. My GMC truck. I like this truck, it's a nice truck. 2014. It's got 1,396 miles on it, not a lot of miles. And I bought it over a year ago, so I haven't really used it. I haven't really drove it much. I drive in the ice cream truck all the time. But anyway, let me go get some stuff for that soup and we'll get it together. So it's going to be a very hearty meal. I've done a couple other ones in the past. But I kind of really like the Portuguese soup. I'll go over how I make it. I put a little spin on it compared to what other guys do, but it's kind of a northeast New England type of soup that a lot of Portuguese people make, and like I said, I put my little spin on it, and it's very good, very, very good. I'm sure my daughter will want some. Alright guys, I came back from the market. I'm gonna make myself a Portuguese kale soup. I got some meat here. I'm gonna cook these 2 things of meat here. What I bought here was kind of like sirloin. Usually what they do is they use a chunk of meat, which is kind of more fatty and gristly, but I'm gonna throw them in there. We'll cook them in the juice. You can see the juice is starting to melt here. This is the broth, the chicken broth that I had froze from last Thanksgiving, last time I do a turkey. So we'll heat that up, we'll get that going, we'll throw this meat in there, we'll cook it up, and then I'll cut it up in small pieces. I could probably cut it up in small pieces before I don't even really need to cook it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this up in small pieces. Got a bunch of cherries. I'm going to cut that all up into sections. Potatoes, carrots, onions, celery, and the beans I'm going to put in red kidney beans. Okay, I like these fava beans. They're expensive, but I like them. A can of black beans, some diced tomatoes, and we got in there, we got kale, which is like collard greens, and this is the curly kale, and then we got a couple of things of cabbage. I could have bought some more kale and stuff if I wanted, but them greens there will kind of like make the soup, you know. And I got a couple of things of cabbage. So let me get this stuff all prepped, and we'll throw it all in, get it cooking, and this should be a nice soup. This is one of my better soups. Is this kale Portuguese soup? I have made it in the past, and let's see if I can get you some shots, guys. Alright guys, this is what the collard greens look like. Obviously I gotta pull all the stems off and rinse it off good, but you know, that's what it looks like, the collard greens. I'm gonna be cleaning that up. And then this is what the kale looks like, curly kale. Same thing, I gotta clean it up, pull all the stalks off it, but I'm gonna rinse it all good. I just wanted to give you some shots. I also got a couple of heads of cabbage that I cut up that are going in there. But I got a bunch of other stuff that I've already prepped. I'm gonna put it all, when I get it all done, I'm gonna put it all on a counter and we'll start building the soup. The turkey broth is all melted in there. It's ready to rock and roll. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really, really smelling good. That's really, really rich, and I can add water to that. But this is gonna make a great soup, man. I'm gonna clean all this stuff up. We'll get you. I got all the meat and everything already prepped. It's all in the refrigerator. I'll lay it all out and we'll get some shots before we build it. Alright guys, I had to get the big pan out today. This is the pan I usually like to use, but I don't think it's going to be big enough, so we're going to go with this one here, which is a monster. It's almost at the top there. So I got the chicken broth in there, the turkey broth. Like I said, that's pretty potent. I'm gonna have to add some water. So what I got was, I got this stuff all prepped. Check this out, man. You guys are gonna be proud of me. I only use one packet of the meat. That's gonna be fine. I froze the other packet, so I got one packet of meat. I cut the meat up nice and small. Okay. The chorizo I left in big chunks, kind of like that, All right, now on the a couple of heads of cabbage. I got the kale, curly kale, and then the collard greens. So it's like half and half. So that stuff's gonna really render down. I got some red potatoes here, onions, red beans, fava beans, black beans, and celery. I got myself some more crushed red peppers here, and some minced garlic. So let's see if I can get this. See if I could do something to get some shots and maybe get this camera up high so we can see what's going on with the stuff as it goes in there. See what I can do here. Here's Susie and here's Baby, sniffing, looking for food. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the meat in there first. Got it all chopped up. It's all nice sirloin steak. This is going to be a nice big pot meal here. How real working men cook. It's kind of really deep. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but I'll try my best, guys. I got all the chorizo. This is like a Portuguese sausage. The Northeast. It's a Portuguese type of red sausage. They got chorizo and linguiça. I really like this. That's going in. All the potatoes, red potatoes, all sliced up small. That's all going in. It's quite a bit. I'm making a big batch here. Give some to my kid and freeze a whole bunch. Onions. Quite a few onions there. All my stuff I just kind of put in whatever I think I want. I don't really do any measurements. That's how I do it. Celery. I'm going to throw the cabbage. I got a lot of couple of heads of cabbage here. I'm throwing that all in there now because it's gonna take a little bit to cook all that. A big pot, man. But it's gonna be good. 4 cans of petite diced tomatoes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start that up. We'll get that going, and then later I'll put the beans and the greens in later. cabbage takes a little bit longer to cook, so I've kind of put that in there now. Because don't forget, I got the meat in there and potatoes. I want to cook all that stuff. I got to add some water to that. Garlic. How real working man cook series. Won't play around. This is gonna be one nice soup, tell you right now. More water going in. Oh, that should be good there. Well, obviously I got the meat and all that stuff in there, and after this cooks for a while, then I'll put my beans in and the greens last, because that's going to really render down quite a bit. So that's what I'll do. We'll get this rocking and rolling for a while. Now I got to be careful in this pan because it doesn't have a thick bottom on it. So I'll get this going and then we'll add the other stuff after. The meat, potatoes, and all that stuff is going to have to cook for a while. This will be like the last thing to throw in, the beans and the kale. These red kidney beans, black beans. Like I said, I really like these fava beans too. And I usually like putting white hominy, but I'm not going to do that this time. Break it up a little bit. And the kale's in good sized pieces. Collard greens. That's all going to render down into the soup. The secret to the thing is the chicken, that turkey broth. That turkey broth that I save. That really makes it taste wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. That's a big pan. I think that's a 60 quart or something. It's pretty big. You see, it almost comes up to the top of the hood there. Gonna be yummy! Gonna be yummy! Next level yum! Sorry guys, I know the pan's big, but I need a big pan. I'm making a big thing here, so get some pepper in there. Oregano mix. Already put the crushed peppers and the garlic. That in there already. I don't need any salt because I got the beans going in there. Roll the beautiful bean footage. Put the beans in there, you're gonna have plenty of salt. So I just gotta bring this up to a, bring this up, cook it so the meat gets cooked. Now, a lot of guys will say, "Oh, you should have browned the meat." I don't really care about that. As long as the meat gets cooked, I'm good with that. I don't need to brown it. Seal in the flavors with browning the meat. Whatever. It's a big pot, man. Check it out. Yo, mama, that's a big pot, mama. That's a big one, mama. Yo, mama, that's a big pot, mama. I've been stirring it for about, off and on for about an hour now. It's pretty cooked now. I gotta add the beans and the rest of it, I'm thinking. The potatoes and stuff are done. I gotta put the beans in and stuff and cook the rest of it. Alright guys, the fava beans are going in. Yo mama! Next level yum mama! Fava beans, kidney beans, and the black beans. What I gotta do is, I gotta put all that kale in there now. It's gonna be the hard part right there. You guys can see all the kale here. All the kale's going in. This is all going to render down relatively easy once it gets in the water there, so. Yo mama, it's going to be next level, yo mama. It's going to be next level, yo mama. Sure, you keep stirring the bottom. I don't want it to burn on the bottom, you know. We'll let this cook for a while more. No, it's just the beans and the kale and collard greens. It's the collard greens, mama. We're gonna cook the kale and the collard greens, mama. All right, let's let it go. Gonna be next level yummy. I got it on low, not crazy, you know. Alright guys, the last thing I'm gonna throw in there is a couple of containers of rice pilaf. I change things as I go. This is how real working men cook. I got a couple of packets of the seasoning mix. Put that in there. I like rice pilaf, so I'm going to add a couple of containers. And it's just the rice. This is going to come up to a boil anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. Mix that in there. That's gonna be yummy. I gotta cook this, you know, a while more, so. But this is definitely going to be my spin on a Portuguese soup. You know, and every time I make it, I might add something or take something out or change it around a little bit. That's how I cook. How real working men cook. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. Real good. We'll let that cook for a while. Bring that up to speed. Give you some shots. I've been stirring it. I've been stirring it a bunch of times. I didn't show you guys, but you know, it's been, you know, probably a couple hours since I've been cooking it, so. Gotta bring it up to a rolling boil and cook it for another hour or so, it won't be done. Alright guys, I got it off in there now. It's shut off, it's all cooked. I got about half a container of. I don't know if you can see this, but this is looking some good. I gotta let it cool, but man, it's. Well, that's a soup. Potatoes, the fava, the meat. You know, pieces of meat in there. Look at that. The kale. Now that's a Portuguese soup right there. Look at that. That's what you call Portuguese soup. Let that cool and we'll get into that, baby. Yum. Put the rice pilaf in there. Potatoes, carrots, potatoes and onions and celery. That's really good, man. That's really good. Very good. Meat, chorizo, black beans. Good eating. Kale, potatoes, beans. Good stuff, man. Very good. Chorizo. Look at that. Good stuff. The beans, potatoes, rice pilaf. How a real working man cook. Alright guys, I'm going to get into the rest of this, but you get the idea. It's good stuff, man. I got a whole big panella in there. All going to be leftovers and freezing. Yum. Yum. You want some, baby? You want some? You want some?